I didn't reveal, and I wasn't legally obligated to tell him about Brian Scott and his fucking bullshit because his name wasn't on the deed. He wasn't part of property ownership or any type of illegal stuff pertaining to the county. But here's the thing. Sharon Worley did not win re-election.
Okay.
And the guy that did win, and I guess you didn't talk to him about this because maybe you don't know, was the guy.
I don't know.
The guy you spoke to back, a year and a half ago, who was running against her, who wanted to clean up the criminal corruption of Nye County. And Chris has legal recourse that I never had because with Sharon Worley in charge, she was protecting Brian Scott. And now the new guy is not going to protect Brian Scott. And so there's a chance now that Chris has that I didn't have. Now, Chris is not as ruthless as me because I wanted to get the fuck out of there and was willing to sell him that lease, which he bought for cash, $160,000, and let me the fuck out of there so that I could come to Nashville and start a nice, new, affluent life with Lisa. And life is good here. Oh, my God, you wouldn't believe what's going on here. This place is awesome. But I earned the blessing by putting up with fucking bullshit from people who are horrible. Now, Chris is not me. And you really shook him up today. Now, I don't know what kind of conversation you had with him and Karen, but he is a mental wreck. And I'm like, welcome to Stacey Asvestas. When you talk to her, she'll make you a fucking mental wreck if you're not ready. And so he's a wreck. And so I had to ask for his forgiveness for selling him the place, which, I don't think I did him wrong because when I went to that lawyer and filed the new lease with all the new wording in it, it had protections from him that I didn't have. So I gave him a lease that was really good to make sure he could not get screwed over by Jessica and Brian. But he doesn't see it that way. Now, what is it that you said to him that made him so shook up?
I'm not sure if he's got protection from them. How did you do that? I mean, can you explain where the protection comes from? I don't even understand. He didn't tell me that. He never said anything.
No, I reworded the original lease that she gave me and took it to a lawyer and had him put a stamp at each page. And he said, okay, this is good. All right, stamp, signature. And he said, okay, now go file this with the county so that the next person who buys this lease from you will have better protections than you had when you bought it from them. So when Chris got that lease filed, it was protective of him in a way that it wasn't protective of me. So, in other words, she didn't have access to the Quonset hut. She wasn't allowed to have keys. She
shouldn't be in there. Hey, do you have a paper on that? A paper?
He does. Yeah, he does.
He didn't tell me about that. He acted like, they just went in there and took it.
Well,
if he's got protection from that, then he needs to go to the police department. I didn't know that.
Here was the problem. He waited too long to move in. And between the time I left in late January until mid-February, she was able to get in there. Brian stole a bunch of shit out of there.
The
power washer, the soundboard. He stole all that shit, the 25 chairs, and he's now trying to sell on everything Perump on Facebook. He's such a piece of fucking human vermin. He's rat shit is what he is. But, I already knew that. But Chris is like, you left me vulnerable. After I talked to Stacey today.
No. That's not how it should come across. Nope. Not leave him vulnerable. Nope. He needs to get out of there. We all know that. He did, and he has, and
he could sell
that stuff. But he did not report that stuff stolen, and that's what we're like. Don't make the same stupid mistakes. He could obviously this thing could go to auction. He's got to get these people downright caught for what they're doing. He can do that. He can do that.
He's not as ruthless as me. See, I
don't know. He's pretty good. I mean, from one day I talked
to an LA guy. Listen,
he is smart.
He was very grateful that I turned you onto him and that he was able to talk to you. You know, he said, "Oh, she's awesome," blah blah blah, whatever.
We are. We're all awesome. All of us victims are awesome. Are you kidding me? We kick ass. Every single one of us, Al. We're not leaving each other. We don't throw each other under the bus either. And we're here to help. And
Karen, why did you put Karen? I mean,
because it happened. I didn't know she was going to call me. It was like pure freaking fluke, okay? I was on the phone with Chris, and I'm getting this call coming from Karen. I've not talking to Karen in like 2-3 weeks, New Year's. I'm like, what the frick? Hang on a second. I said, hey, you want to talk to Karen? All I was doing was going through history with Chris from the past. I'm like, well, you're living there with this asshole, so I need to tell you about my past a little bit, how I'm associated with this idiot. He didn't know I lived in Ohio. He thought I lived in Vegas. I'm like, no, I don't live there. And Tony was here. I'm like, hey, say hi to Tony. Tony's here. Hey, hi, Tony. Hey, that's Tony. Okay, great. That's my boyfriend. Next is, how did I catch this asshole? And how did he get to where he's at? He wanted to know the history, which is valuable, so he knows what he's got to deal with. I said, did you know he's a murderer? He's like, no. Like, yeah, well, he is. Yeah, be careful. He wasn't afraid of him. Like, you're not afraid of this, Gary? Gary is bad. He talks just like you, Al. Swear to God. Chris says the same things you said when I first talked to him. Like, oh, shit. He thinks that Gary is and Jessica is. So anyways, Karen called me while I was on the phone with Chris. I couldn't make this shit up if I tried, okay? She called. So I'm like, you want to talk to Karen? I was just talking about Karen. So I'm like, this is what, she's the one that got the worst of the deal. She did. So he's like, okay. Like, okay, I'm going to throw you right her in. Karen's like, oh, Stacey, I just woke up. I'm like, oh, jeez, you just woke up? Yeah, I had a long day. I'm like, okay, I didn't even prep you for this, but I've got some guy on the phone named Chris. That's how it happened.
Okay.
Truth be told, God strike me dead if I'm standing on my feet.
All right. Well, look, the thing is...
True story.
I didn't do him wrong. I took a loss on that place. I sent him this realtor named Dee Dee Smith who said she had a lease buyer at $195,000, which is $35,000 more than he paid me, and he could walk away. But he said, "Oh, I don't want to fuck anybody else over." And I said, "Yeah, but the thing is that if somebody else paid $195,000."
Okay.
They might be a lot more ruthless and rotten.
I'm going to stop you right there. I am not throwing you under the bus. I know we've got a situation going on. I know this Gary's an asshole, and we can all get this fucker stopped. Chris is in a predicament. Yeah, it happens. You got out. Thank God. You're alive. I love you. I never said I didn't. Karen, she went through what she went through. We are going to get this asshole. That's the goal. Chris has got the brains to do it, too.
We lost the election. So now there's this dude that you were talking about, Alex Padilla, or whatever his name is.
Yeah, just one day I talked to him. One day. I scared the shit out of him is what I did. He never talked to me ever since. I mean, he's on my Facebook page, I think. He communicated a little bit on Facebook. But I think I scared him. Hey, you there?
What? Wait,
huh?
What is this?
So we got a new sheriff. So you're telling me I can call up the new sheriff and say, get this asshole Gary? Would that work?
Okay, this is weird, man. Who is the Nye County? Who is
it? I haven't kept up with it. I swear to God. Until Chris came along this morning. He sent me a message. Remember I told you he was blocked? I'm like, oh, whatever. It was months ago, Al.
Yeah, Joe McGill was the guy that you contacted.
Yes. That's his name. Yes. Yeah, that's Joe. I spoke to him once, and then he started communicating via Facebook, and that was it. I think I scared him. But is he?
He won.
Okay, good. So can I go again?
He was going to clean up the corruption. He said that he wouldn't allow any more protection of criminals like Brian Scott. He ran on that platform. He said he wasn't going to allow the criminal class to run Nye County anymore. And he
why is Gary still there?
Right, because they
Chris mentioned about Jessica getting pregnant. He mentioned, did he tell you that?
I couldn't believe he told me that, but it figures.
Okay. And now, what about the credit card fraud that Gary is trying to take some chick on? What about that? Did he steal the credit card? I mean, I didn't dig into it with Chris. He too much more.
He contacted Pepper J. And she's she has that local TV station that the show that she runs with that reporter, that Brian had fucked as well because he screwed every fat chick in that town, and she said that he wanted to borrow money from her. And he sent her a picture of his debit card from this propane company, and he swore that he would pay her back based on a future payment that he was going to get for his job. And he tried to borrow $350 from her, and she said, "I'm sorry, I can't help you." And then, he said, "Well, Al Bowman helped me a bunch of times, and he lives in Nashville now, and I don't know what that's about." And it's... I wanted to let all this go, but
the main thing is, Al, you guys have a friendship for years. You're not going to let him go. You guys have known each other for a long time. You care about this man, and we do too.
You're talking about Chris?
Yes.
Yeah. Well,
who are you talking about?
1988.
Okay.
I don't want to look over, but the thing is, he's not as ruthless as I was. Like, I'm about self-preservation. Like, I faced the situation where I'm like, okay, I'm going to do whatever I can to get out of this fucking thing and take this guy's money. And I didn't tell him anything. But as time wore on, he started to discover.
Obviously, he's going to discover it just like you did. Duh.
Yeah, but then he asked me, does anybody else know about this? And I said, yeah, Stacey Asvestas.
Thank you.
And so then he said, who's that? And I said, well, she's on Facebook. Then he looked you up, and then he found you guys talk. And now he is so shook up. Now, I didn't expect that was going to happen after he talked to you. That he's...
I thought it was going to be a slow go. Seriously, I had no idea. I thought it's just going to be a slow talk. We're talking about hot sauce. He likes hot pepper sauce, too. I thought, we got something in common. We chatted a little bit on Facebook. Al, seriously, I did not know it was going to escalate that fast. I had no clue. I didn't know Karen was going to call. I didn't know it was going to happen. I swear to God, I got the Bible. I will put my hand on it. I am not kidding you on this one. I did not.
It's such a drama, man. That's what you mean.
Drama. Hey, I care about this guy. We can't, and he might be our ticket to get this asshole in jail. Think about that. I'm just not holding my breath.
Trying to sell those chairs that I bought.
He might be
stolen property. And it's minor, but it's enough to click a fucking warrant.
It has. Let's do this.
So,
do it. Get these people. Get them anywhere.
I don't ever plan to call Chris again because he gave me so much grief for an hour on the phone. And I'm
come on. You say that about me, too.
I don't help anymore. I don't. But
no bullshit. How's Lisa doing?
She's doing okay. Her and I are happy.
Okay, she gave me fucking grief for how many hours, and I'm still talking to her. Don't you dare go that direction.
I already know about all that stupid.
Do you know how much grief Lisa gave me? You have no clue. When you left to go over there. Okay, no, it was not. I spent hours on the phone with Lisa because she thought you left her. Okay.
At one point.
Yeah. And who she called? Me. Dude,
But you have
you
nobody-
can't leave a guy hanging.
Let me tell you something. The women
You
in
can't.
Nashville are so horrible. They're all
And you
married
don't
to
even
their
give me
Instagram
credit for-
accounts. They were the meanest and nastiest,
shit.
most horrible fucking women I ever met in
Honey,
my life.
I
Lisa
charge
looks like an angel.
$45 a
Jesus.
freaking hour. You owe me money. Seriously,
Just
I
tell
felt
Chris.
bad for her.
I don't want Chris to
Don't
suffer,
you
man.
drop Chris. Don't you dare drop him. Don't you
No,
dare.
I don't want
Don't-
to
I'll
talk to him
kick your
because
freaking
he's
ass.
holding me
I will
responsible for his situation.
Stop it.
And I'm not
No,
responsible.
so were you. Stop it. You
No,
do
caveat emptor,
not.
buyer beware.
Stop
You know,
it.
that's the way it works.
You-
No, I'm not helping
Did I
you.
drop you? Did I drop you?
No, but you helped me.
Oh!
You also caused all kinds of problems, man.
I did not cause the problem. I did not cause the fucking problem. Al, I was there on your side the whole fucking time. I was there when nobody wanted to talk to you. I was there when Gary didn't give a shit about you. I was there when Jessica was a stupid ass dropping those stupid bombs. Stop it. Karen was there every time you were lost when you couldn't get in. Karen said, we got to help this guy. We were there for you, and now you just want to drop Chris.
Because he's not like me. He doesn't have the same level of coping mechanisms.
Incorrect. You with
so
me.
freaked
Okay,
out.
wait.
I was like,
Wait.
okay, I got to get it together and find a buyer. He's going like, he doesn't want to find a buyer.
Slow down.
No, he doesn't want to find a buyer. He's scared of ripping somebody off.
Back up. Back the fuck up. You did not have the same coping mechanisms that I did when I was screwed by Gary. Don't you dare go there. Karen
No,
didn't
I
have
have
the same
different
coping
ones than Chris
mechanisms
does.
I
Chris
had with
is
that asshole.
vulnerable.